Hello guys, welcome back to Pause and welcome back to Firewood Grotto. This is part 7. I'm Adam here, and today we are continuing on with our theme park, fun fair area, which is what we are doing here today. So this is Toy Town Fun Fair, built within our Firewood Grotto. So if you go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to give us a like down below and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of the content. And if you fancy a chat, jump onto the Twitter or Discord. Both of those links are in the description. So in today's episode, we throw in quite a few rides, I think 4 in total from what I remember. A few little shops like this churros store, which you can see just here. Again, these kind of fun fair areas will have these kinds of stalls in them, especially around Christmas markets. Imagine like cotton candy, hot dogs, burgers, churros, and that kind of thing to really give this a fun vibe, a fun fair vibe. So the first thing that we pop in, other than the little shop here, is a classic carousel. Now these things you will normally find at a fun fair, probably not as grand as this one, to be perfectly honest. They're normally a bit smaller and then sort of a bit more janky, but in terms of this being a Christmas build, you can get really nice vintage carousels that are travelling versions, so it kind of fits the theme, so we're going with it. So this little carousel area makes up our little children's sort of hub, and also we put in quite a few little snowmen pieces around this as well to give it like a central feel. And we're going to surround this carousel with a few more shops and a few more rides, and then we'll have 1 or 2 branching paths off this as well, which extend out around into our little fun fair area. So the plan is still to put in a coaster. We don't do that in this episode, but that is probably something we're going to do next time. It's probably going to take a whole episode, to be honest. That's why I'm putting it off doing it, because I want to make it quite custom. So it's going to be a custom layout, and it's also probably going to have custom supports, with the fact that I want it to look like a travelling ride. I'm probably going to attempt some kind of custom support structure for that. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's probably going to be in the next episode or maybe the one after, but I think this is probably only going to be about a 10 episode series, so there's probably only a few more left, to be perfectly honest. I still want to get in some kind of hayride, which a few people have mentioned, so that's something we might end up doing here, as ultimately this is still a farm area and a farmland, so I still think we could put in that at the back. Obviously we need space for that, so that's why I'm not putting that in at the moment. That's probably one of the last things we're going to do. And I still also want to put in the sort of cut down your own tree, Christmas tree thing, which we're going to put in near the main hub, so basically where the massive big tree is. So again, that's something we can do. So it's all these little bits and pieces to finish off once we get this fairground done. But we are pretty much at the end of the fairground by the end of today's episode. Like I said, probably one more episode to finish it off, and maybe build that coaster, and then maybe 1 or 2 more just to put in the final touches. So putting in the tree thing, putting in the hayride, and just all the last little bits and pieces to bring this thing together. So it'll just about take us up to Christmas, I think, which has worked out quite well, as that was obviously the plan for this to be a nice little I keep wanting to say November, a December Christmas build. As it's not something really I've ever done, so yeah, I'm quite liking it. It might be something we can keep doing every year. But anyway, that's generally where we're up to with this one. So back to the footage then. We're putting in a sizzler or a twister or whatever you call them where you're from. It's twister for me, is my common name for these. So yeah, we pop that in. Again, more janky fences around the edge. We do finish off towards the end today with a few more generators. I do a bit of cable management and that kind of stuff. As again, I do want to make that quite a realistic thing in this park. My original plan, I did mention it in one of the first episodes, that I was going to sort of do like porta cabins and things for the toilets, really temporary structures for those. I've kind of moved away from that idea. Instead, I'm just using the wooden cabin toilets, which are still, you could argue, a temporary structure. There's a lot of these wooden buildings that I'm putting in around this place. in the grand scheme of things and the lore and theme of this build, those are temporary structures. A bit like the type of structures you find that they set up around Christmas in markets and town centres. I don't know if it's the same where you're from, but around the UK, normal town centre areas will just have these temporary wooden structures put up where people just jump in for the holidays and sell various crafts and signs and things. So that is the idea behind these buildings, that they are temporary structures just set up for this event. And that's what moving forward is the kind of angle we're going for. So this here, another one of the little fairgroundy style rides. Nice small one this. So I'm trying to get in a few different varieties. And it's tucked away nicely in this corner. And this is going to be the only bit of the park, the only bit of this fairground that's got sort of a different style fence. And that's purely because I wanted to use something a bit different for this corner between the two buildings, and I thought this little wooden fence worked quite well. So yeah, we've got the little Zozo, I think they're called, just at the back here. Again, it kind of it has the structure of a classic fairground ride. When you mix it with the sort of deep snow, it kind of looks like it fits relatively nice. And that's the main reason why I'm not bothering too much about the bases of these rides, because they do look quite temporary already, and that's why I'm picking the rides quite carefully to make sure it carries on that temporary vibe we're going for. A few more trees just to surround the area. I don't know if I'm putting too many trees in, actually. I'd like your guys' feedback on that. Do you think this place should be more open than... So at the moment it kind of looks a bit like forest. And if my plan in my head is that this is farmland, would there be that many trees this far into the land? I don't think they would. So what I might do, and I've only thought about this really since recording, I might end up swapping a lot of these trees out with the Christmas trees, that as in the actual decorated, lit up Christmas trees, to give the feeling that they have brought in a shed load of trees to make the area feel festive, rather than just building stuff within the trees. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's probably something we might try next time. But then again, equally in the storyline of this, they could just be an area of the farmer's land where he's got a load of trees that he's put stuff in. I don't know. I'm not going too deep into it. It's only a fantasy build here in Planet Coaster, isn't it? It's not that important in the grand scheme of life. Anywho, that's getting to the end actually of today's footage. So again, apologies that these are quite shorter episodes, but I would rather get these out quicker for this kind of Christmassy theme, as it's a very easy one to get out because I've got a very clear view in mind of what I want to do with this, in terms of it being like a fairground temporary kind of thing. And then it's all the little details of the snow and everything like that, which is what's going to bring this together. But in terms of the main bulk of putting the rides and things in, it's not the longest of time really for this kind of style build. Oh, pardon me. And what I do like now is now we've got people in the park. It's looking loads nicer, and it really gives you a good feel of the atmosphere of what this place would be. And that's what I really enjoy. So what I'll do now is I'll leave you with a few slow-mo shots around the area, showing off the little fairground that we've put in today. One more thing that I will put in next time, obviously this is meant to be Toy Town Fun Fair, so to fulfill that name more, we'll probably put in a little bit of theming around the area next time, just to sort of add something other than the trees around. So don't worry, we are going to theme these things up a little bit better. There will be more details put in, but that's something for next time. But for today, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, give us a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Cheers, bye.